Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're watching from. Welcome to April Fool's Day, April 1st, 2021. You are watching a live broadcast of Successful Trading Pre-Market Analysis, where we teach you how to take your trading to the next level. How do we do that? So, well, by allowing you to feel a little bit dirty by knowing how to not just trade one side of the markets. All right, so very well. Let's say hello to uh, uh, Miss Marcy, Mr. Nick from London, Mr. Joe, our pal Joe. I love that name. Beautiful Gates, and any other person who has not signaled themselves in the live chat. Oh, we can. Sorry, I missed the comment there with Mr. Donny. All right, very good, folks. There's a lot going on, so I'm going to try to be as succinct as possible. Yesterday, if you had the opportunity to trade live with us in the last 90 minutes, you saw again a lot of you are appreciating those type of session. Um, I am trying to set up something similar for the last hour today, just for the last hour. So let's see if that's an ask. So what's in store for us on here in the markets right now? So we are going to take a look at the 90 what 30,000 feet view, whatever, through the US equity SPY QQQ IWM, and then I want to spend a little bit time talking about some stock because you're going to see from a technical perspective it looks as if we have turned the corner over the last couple of days. So I have a group of stocks on here, more precisely, there are four of them that I want to introduce to you for a semi long term range. I'm actually writing them here such that I don't forget any one of them. And then from there, we are going to dive into the more present time through what we can trade today on expiration. We love trading on expiration, don't we? So yeah, and answer any type of question regarding a chart that you would like us to take a look at. All right, very good. So first thing first, again, I'm not sure the quality of the audio has been really lacking recently on here, so I apologize in advance if you happen to be new here and you are encountering those issues. So here's SPY. SPY is gapping slightly, 1.5 point this morning. So this is something that it's confirming this recent bullish trend here. How do we know that? The exponential moving average 8, that's our yellow line, has been acting as support, and over the last 4 days, though hasn't necessarily been putting in higher highs yesterday, it did, and then it retreated, right? We were trying to make money yesterday off of the 396 put. They were not having it. Yeah, the algo were not having it. So we took the trade already, Mr. Donny. I'm not sure if you were with us yesterday. So for us, we threw a few penny with the 401 calls on SPY on here, just as a safe bet. I mean, at this stage, the same thing we have been saying all along, right? We have videos on how to trade SPY. That's several strategy. There's the overnight trade strategy on SPY. We had a full article on it on successfultrading.com blog. Then we depicted that in several videos. Then we made videos onto how to trade day trade SPY on expiration day, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So you can turn around and say, but Telex, we are not Thursday today. We are not Friday today. Yes, I know. But since it's the last day of the week, because tomorrow will be closed in observance of Good Friday, SPY has expiration today. Everybody has expiration today. So if you're planning on trading tomorrow, Friday, well, I will not be with you in the pre-market tomorrow. I guarantee you that. All right, so SPY on here looks as if it's bullish. It's April Fool's Day, folks. I can only think of anything. So for me, it's going to be feast or famine today, meaning that either this market is really just going to just melt up, or this is going to be a big fake, and it will finish with some of us feeling dirty as usual because we know how to trade puts. Yeah. So the one of the fastest moving ETF actually is not SPY today, this morning in pre-market. It's actually QQQ. And slowly here, if I can share the screen properly, sorry about that. So slowly, you have seen how it's QQQ has struggled over the last 10 days to recapture the green line and even the yellow line, both the exponential moving average 8 and exponential moving average 20. It did that yesterday. It did that yesterday. I faced resistance at 320, but this morning the algos are not having it. I've been watching pre-markets for almost 2 hours, over 2 hours now, and consistently. I guess the news about the initial job claim may not didn't phase it out, because if this is correct, I'm still seeing SPY on here. Let me check SPY in pre-market. No, SPY QQQ in pre-market is still really leading all the ETFs. So in this case, what are the potential target price for QQQ on here? So QQQ right now 322, 16, 68, 69 thereabouts. So the chart, if we look to the left, we have had resistance at 324.45 thereabout. So I see the upper Bollinger opening up. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, meaning that there was kind of an inflection point on yesterday's data point. So that those upper Bollinger band are 324.65. So it's definitely 325. We can trade 325 on the upside today for QQQ. Should they reverse? Well, we will be looking into the EMA 20 here. That's the closest one up, around 317. Those are the levels on QQQ. 325 calls and 317 thereabout. So all light seems green so far on QQQ. How about IWM very quickly here? So IWM, the small cap index, has not recaptured the EMA 20, meaning the green line, which currently stands as of yesterday at 221.43 cents. It was rejected and has been trading below both the EMAs 8 and 20 for the last since March the 23rd. So a confirmation of bullishness on here is the slope of that yellow line start trending up again. Has been like maybe flat or downwards really for a long while now, since February, March the 22nd rather. Actually, even since February something, yeah. Well, March the 17th here. Yeah. That's the date on this candle that I'm showing you here. So these lower lows, yeah. And then there was the death cross on here where the EMA 8 came below the EMA 20, and for 3 days the stock posted lower lows. Yeah, this is how. But we have said that. This is what we have said, that we have shown you here on IWM. If I can zoom in to show that these downwards momentum here, or this downwards temporary type of dips, they have been made by the stock going up and posting a fresh new high. Yeah, so meaning that if, let's say, IWM is able to close today above that white line, which is the middle of the upper Bollinger and lower Bollinger, that's the highest level of resistance that it has right now. Well, the target for next week and the hope, not, I don't know, next week or future days, definitely it's higher than the previous high, which is 234.53. So looking into April, the upper Bollinger right now stands at 236. So 240s thereabouts, it's really where IWM will be going. We have showcased those patterns here. So for us, we will be trading accordingly, but we need confirmation. Yeah. All right. So that's conclude the first section of this for us. So we're currently at 6:04 a.m. Pacific time, meaning 9:04 Eastern time, meaning it is 1:04 in London, United Kingdom. All right, we say that. Once again, who's new trader? Yes, I am in. Okay. All right. All right. So let's go through a section on here. I want to show you some charts. That's going to stem from where? That's going to stem from this one. So this is our FinViz. I got some feedback. I don't know if you're watching our YouTube channel, right? I beg of you. Let's say we introduce strategies on here sometimes, but I can tell you that though I like to try to teach as much as possible in this section, maybe sometimes some very critical piece of information may be used. I'm talking, for instance, how to trade the so-called swing trade. If your idea is that I recommend taking swing trade by buying calls on an asset overnight, then I think you have just partial information. So I want to convey that on here because that's something that came up yesterday. So the way we trade swing trades, overnight swing trade, is that we hedge. We always hedge. Again, we don't want to be fooled. Today is April Fool's Day. So I don't care what the chart is telling me the previous day. this market has been known as a kangaroo market. So we hedge. The swing trade is a hedge trade, meaning we trade both calls and puts. Yes, that's the gist of really the gist of it. I want to show you the chart of one of the fastest one of the fastest. I can every time I think of that. Oh, again, I wanted to say earlier that okay, welcome to successful trading for this stock technical analysis market daily, where we teach you that your favorite stock is whichever one is moving the fastest on that week or on that day, right? So who's moving the fastest this morning on your QS? Let's take a look at the chart of QS. Really, I'm not going to because maybe should I do that here? Okay, let's do that normally. Let's do that normally. So meaning let's take a full view at this chart through trading view instead of staying off that because it's important enough. So QS from we're going to analyze this technically. We have been able to use this analysis recently to set up some semi long-term position. And again, there's an opportunity developing here with QS up huge this morning after some news came that they received money from what company? I'm not sure. Or I'm not sure if it's Volkswagen or whatever. They received 100 million or whatever. So that's what's the reaction it's onto here. So it's up huge. I mean, the 50 puts, you see? I feel so dirty, man. I cannot go without saying the word puts. The 50 calls was trading yesterday at 10 cents. No, I don't have them. I would have had to have the Holy Spirit come into me to get an idea to buy those, right? Because there was nothing yesterday that indicated that if you had the calls or you have calls right now on QS, congratulations. But for me, yeah, I'm interested now. Why? Because from a technical point of view, QS here support has been exactly at this area. So maybe now you could have, if you have identified in the past that support has been at 40 thereabout. How do we know that? Here is a bounce off here. Here's a bounce off here, 1, 2, 3, and then this one here has been consolidating over the last 4 days, and then this morning, boom. Imagine waking up, you have 10 cents contract yesterday on QS, and now on 50 calls, now they are $2 in the morning. Congratulations, folks. But if you didn't have them, that's not a problem. Yeah. First of all, you can GangstA trade QS this morning. Yeah. I leave it to you. I leave it to you to GangstA trade it. The long-term trade on here is that hey, if the price is able to stay above the green line which we are looking at, both the green line and the yellow line, the green line is above that exponential moving average 20. We are bullish. Yeah, we are bullish, and this thing has shown us an ability to at least run a little bit. The last few times where it bounced on here, look at the price where we went in just a few days, because this thing can move very, very fast. Yeah, so you can set up that trade today as long as on the April 1st as well. So for me, looking at April 16 thereabout, I didn't study the option for it, unfortunately, at this time. So 75 calls, 70 calls and above are what the targets here is. Let's say looking at the, if you even want, you can go further, 90 or whatever. You give yourself some time. So the cheapest. So for me, I'm going to try to pick whatever strike that's going to cost me less than 15 cents, really. And for April 16, over the couple of the next 2 weeks, because this is the beginning of that something on here. It has done it 3 times on here already. So let's see if we can do that a 4th time. So that's QS. Stock number 1 for long-term range. Stock number 2 for long-term range with a tap. It's exactly the same type of analysis which we have shared on here recently, right? So in case you were not with us, we even drew on here. So support on Jumia stock JMIA is that second stock. Sometimes I speak too fast, and some people will be asking, oh, what's that second stock he's talking about? So support at this level here, 30, 36, 37 thereabouts, and now it's has been trying over the last couple of days to recapture the yellow line EMA 8. So the potential move could be exactly this W on here. So confirmation of this trade, the stock needs to be trading above the yellow line. 36.50 yesterday, it tried that, got rejected this morning. It's trying at it again, it's gapping up almost at 37. So you will get confirmation. And again, this is a fast mover, meaning the 50 area is definitely not out of proportion. I know for a fact that next week 50, are they 50? Yeah. Then we're going for 7 cents. So if you think that's impossible, then if you take April the 16th, you take maybe a bigger strike price. You don't need to be in the money, but the whole idea is that if the stock start advancing on here after posting in support and basing for a few days, a week on here. Each time that it captures a moving average, it trade higher than a moving average. That's what I mean by recapturing the moving average. It gives you confirmation of the direction. So that's stock number 2. Stock number 3, it's VUZ. VUZ is same pattern, folks. Same pattern. Is this the daily? Yeah. Well, same pattern, kind of. This one here, we spotted this and we traded the puts last week, if you recall. Yes, because we spotted this that hey, upper Bollinger to support. So now it's yesterday it's recapture. It closed nicely, 15% up yesterday, just quietly, right? Recapture the exponential moving average, and now the inflection point is rising up. The upper Bollinger here, you see it open up is at 30. So upon when this stock comes and tests, let's say the level of, if it can go to 30 again, but right now it's definitely bullish for long term. This one only has monthly expiration. Monthly, the only expiration we can trade is April the 16th. So 40, because that will be the next level up there. They have been consistent, really reaching at least the previous high. The previous high here was 30.55. So you can use 35 or 40 if you want them at a cheaper price. So that's stock number 3 for semi-long-term range, meaning expiration on in April, 2 weeks from now or even further. Okay, before I reveal the 4th stock on here, let me go ahead and make sure that to say hello to new traders in the live chat. Hello, Miss JLo. Mr. Ada Jackson, good afternoon. What's my take on riots? Okay, we will take a look at riots if you do not mind. Last stock on here to take a look at, I believe, is it moving? Well, if you were with us yesterday, then we think we gave you this trade already, not even before yesterday even, right? We've been talking about NEO here over the last couple of days. NEO is up to $42. And yesterday in the live broadcast, I remember vividly some guy talking, if you know him, say to tell him good job, depicting that trade here that, hey, if NEO is able to cross above this moving average. Did you see the similarities between the chart of, let's say, Jumia and NEO and even QS that we are looking at? So stop finding some support for us. Since last Friday, we have been tracking NEO, right? We have that documented in our Discord room. And yesterday, we suggested that if at all possible, that this thing is not far-fetched for this stock to gain $3 overnight. That's what it's doing. So starting this morning above 41.38, which is the green line EMA 20. So that's another bullish pattern on there. So similar to which that we showed you on VUZ, this thing could be posting, let's say, a potential W, kind of not a straightforward W type of trade. So in this case, the 50 calls that we took for April the 16th, they were losing while this thing was basing up to yesterday, I believe, because we took them at maybe just shy of 30 cents, I believe, but they were trading at like 21 cents or thereabout. But just confirmation on the chart that hey, the direction is still intact. So they're going to appreciate this morning greatly. And I believe we also have this week 41 calls. So we are willing to cash. Yeah. Yesterday, at the end of the day, this is what we were looking at. I showed this chart yesterday at the end of the day. This stock was at 39. Then I made this remark. I said, hey, typically when a stock post a new high of the day and so late in the day, that's definitely, you have to consider that as bullish. Conversely, we love staying dirty. So if a stock is posting a new low of the day late in the session, that's bearish. So in our case, the news that's I think they unveiled our Q1 delivery numbers. So I guess the number were so huge. So let's hope for a short squeeze on NEO, folks. Yeah. I'm a big fan of short squeeze. I have the position. So let's hope for a short squeeze on here on NEO and really see. So four stocks right now that have potential to be moving. I mean, it doesn't mean necessarily each and every day they will be moving, but you can set up this trade today, right? Since we even have a long weekend. Some of these, on a long weekend, There will be even gappers. So be patient. You can be patient into building those positions, or just a few of them. QS, Junior, Vuzi, and Neo. We are already in Neo and Junior. I think we have a tiny thing left on Vuzi, so we'll be setting up something on QS definitely. But QS is difficult to trade, so meaning I'm really going to make the smallest type of investment on there, expecting big growth, because if a stock can jump 15% in one day, imagine what it can do over the course of 2 weeks, right? So that's those long-term trades there for you. All right. I'm speeding up this here a little enough, but due to time, let's take a look at Riot. Riot is on our so-called cryptocurrency uh, watch list, right? So we have said that many times here. So seems nothing. Riot support here. That's a piece of information for you to enter right now, to record right now. Support at Riot, it's at $40 on his daily chart, and every time he has found there, he has been able to burst. Also, let me try to. So there's this one attempt on here. There's this second one on here. Now they show it, they always do it higher. So hence this third one are to be able to take this price higher than the previous one here, higher than 65. So again, this has weekly options. So either through weekly option or April 16. For me, if I take April 16, I want them as cheap as possible. I'm going to go maybe to above 80 to take this previous high. So meaning 2 weeks time for this thing to do its thing. So the stock is confirming that is bullish. Why? How do we know that, Mr. 88? We have had a series recently of smaller, higher highs, and now is recapturing above the moving averages. That's simple stuff. So let me quickly just look at the weekly chart for it. Now that I messed it up with my so-called drawing, the weekly chart. Let me remove this. What does the weekly chart tell us? Okay, sorry about that. The weekly chart, the stock is tracking above the yellow line exponential moving. Only thing on here is that it has been a little bit range bound, but this range is not bad, because this is a stock that on a weekly basis give us a range of 40 to 65. We can trade that. As a matter of fact, that you can actually set up a strategy just to say, okay, I know the ATR, the weekly ATR, and set up your calls and puts. Your calls and puts accordingly on here. That's a strategy that you may not win every single week, but on a long-term range, because this stock here, look at the weekly ATR. Since it has been trading above 30, they are big. They are big, and they tend to really respect it. I mean, here in this case, they started on here, but then the biggest trade was on the downside from 70 all the way to 40, $30 in a week. So yeah, let me try to implement that strategy on here on Riot. So that's the take on it. As I am fast trying to go through all of the material that we have. Last but not least, we promise, I don't like promises. We said yesterday that MU had earnings, and then we will be wanting to trade MU, right? So this is the chart of MU, folks. Yes, you are reading this properly. Let me bring it this way. MU from $88 to 92. Oh, this morning we have quant analysis on this one, right? So the quant analysis says that typically MU like to retreat after earnings. So for between the high and the low today, we're seeing maybe a 6% type of move. So 6% is a lot. So I price that into the GangstA trade setup that I gave you. So we pick strike price up $6 and $6 from where the stock is right now, and we think we are going to get those fills, very cheap fills, and then we'll let the market do its thing. We will be there to take whatever it gives us to the bank. That's really what's and obviously if you are trading MU, Western Digital is the proxy to that. The only problem is that what problem lately, and I talked with that with one of the trader in this coaching session. The spread on Western Digital have been awful lately. I mean, even yesterday I was looking at this morning. So that's the reason why I shied away from it yesterday, right? And then what did we pick as the Thursday Wahala in year of Western Digital? I believe we pick a replacement stock, if you will. The replacement stock we picked is it's up 2% right now. I mean, and we pick Square, right? We pick Square, and we gave that trade live yesterday. So let's see what it does on here, folks. All right, it is 9:20 Eastern time in New York and in Toronto. The market will open in exactly 10 minutes, so that's going to give us a good 9 minutes to meditate, reset our mind to start the month of April anew. And we wish everybody a great holiday. Well, yeah, holiday. It's Easter, folks, in most countries. So try to relax, and we will resume sometime next week. For those in our Discord room and even for those on the internet, if I find time, we will be doing a live session for the last hour of today, meaning from 3 to 4 p.m. But it's not a promise, folks. Yeah. So hopefully it goes accordingly, and we're able to see how the last day finish closes on here. We tried yesterday. Yeah, they wouldn't let us make money on SPY late, so we will try again to set it up today again. Thank you, everybody. Have a great trading session. Bye bye.